today we're going to be challenging what it means to discipline a child altogether. Where does the idea that children are defiant and need to be disciplined with spankings or timeouts or groundings come from? And if you do your research, yes, parenting has changed a lot in the last 100 years, but it all is based on this one idea that was presented almost 1600 years ago in the 4th century by St. Augustine, where he says that every single human being to exist, even the ones on earth only but a day, are sinners, and they need to have that sin beat out of them by the time they're an adult. Now, I'm not going to say if that's right or wrong. We've been operating with that idea for thousands of years. I'm just saying maybe we should question it. What do you think, Tom?
Absolutely. Because when you think about like certain instincts that we're all born with, like let's just take a spider for instance. When a spider is born, it can actually climb up the fence post, shoot its little web, get enough out there, the wind picks it up and floats away, it lands, and all of a sudden it knows exactly how to spin a web. He didn't go to ITT Tech and learn how to, spider webbing 101. It was something built in. But let's look at the human or our babies or our little ones. They have that primal instinct too, which is communication in one form, and it's a cry. Boy, does that cry can mean a lot of things. It's up to us to decipher. Pick me up, put me down, feed me, change my diaper. You get the idea. And then along the way, everything outside of that or on top of that is a life skill that must be taught or learned. How to communicate, use your words, learn those manners. And then what happens is along the way, if they are missing those life skills, then all they know to do is default back to their primal instinct, which is cry. But when they get older, it's not really a cry, it's a whine, or it's a temper tantrum. And it goes all the way up to a lot of us as adults that still act that way, and boy, do they just get a hot temper. As soon as those missing life skills are caught or found, then all those things that the child doesn't have to rely on anymore makes the big change. And so, Bonnie, tell a little bit about some of these holes that you found moving forward.
Well, when I was raising my 4 babies, I was watching a lot of Super Nanny, so I used a lot of timeouts and speaking like authoritatively, like I'm your mom and you need to listen to me. And I really didn't know that the temper tantrums were telling me, Mom, your approach is off the mark. I thought it was normal. We're all introduced to the idea of terrible 2s, horrific 3s, teenage rebellion. And so I let it go. And it wasn't until my kids were between the ages of 7 and 13, 3 diagnosed with ADHD, 1 with ADHD and oppositional defiant disorder. It wasn't until then that I just knew something was completely off the mark. And when Thomas introduced me to some of the strategies, well, all of the strategies, the philosophy he developed in his martial arts school over a 15-year period that doesn't include punishment, doesn't include taking things away from kids, only includes empowering kids with the exact words and phrases to make everybody happy and work in harmony, then life transformed.